Okay, so this is not my usual introduction. I'm a little too tired, but I want to get this done. I did sit on having my book of the month books, the dust jackets off, and the oh, that needs to be over here. I did sit with them for a bit with having them off, the dust jackets off, and then them in color coded, and that's not something that I mind. It's just like I was saying. Excuse me, like I was saying in last week's video, it would have to be at least 50% of the books on my bookshelf. Either A, at least 50% of the books on my bookshelf need to be organized by color, B, all of the books organized by color, or C, more space, or D, a combination of the above. And right now, I'm not willing to do that, and space-wise, I can't do that. So I have the top shelf organized, but now I'm not quite sure. So I organize it where my manga and my manhwa and graphic novels are on the middle two shelves. I'm sitting down, I would show you, I'm too tired to right now. I'm too tired to stand, and that's the only way I could do that. But I had it where my paperbacks are on the top shelf. So like my 5 shelves, it was paperbacks, manga, and then manhwa graphic novels, and then my book of the month, and then my hardcovers. Now I don't know if I want it that way, because it's like, I like having my graphic novels, I like having my manga and manhwa and graphic novels, I like having all those together, because usually I talk to them and I refer to them together. And I do like the idea of having them like when I am, shit, what did I just do? Okay, hopefully we're okay. If I'm ever sitting like this, okay, maybe you won't be able to, okay, so it's not a huge deal if, I guess that helped me decide. So I guess I'm going to move I'm going to move the manga graphic novels manhwa back up, and then I'm going to have I'm basically returning it to the way it used to be, sort of. Unless it's my graphic novels, manga, and manhwa, I am going to avoid having any like dual rows. So this is a really good example of what I mean. So I'm going to avoid having this where you see the Apothecary Diaries in front, and then that's Yashahime behind the Apothecary Diaries, and this one. So basically, unless it's manga, graphic novels, manhwa, I'm going to avoid that for my other just general paperbacks and hardbacks. So I'm going to stack them like upwards. I'm going to stack them out, but I'm not going to like do 2 rows of stuff. Just because in that case, like with manga, it's small enough, I think, and I would be collecting more manga. But unless, like with my paperbacks and hardbacks, like unless I have enough to fill up 2 full rows on one single shelf, I kind of don't like the way it looks. So this is what we're rolling with. I'm going to put all of my book of the month books onto the shelf. I currently have them on my desk organized back in alphabetical order, because I tried to start organizing them by color with the dust jackets on. I wasn't like the way that was, I wasn't liking the way that was looking, just because a lot of these covers are multicolored, and a lot of the spines are multicolored because they're like a continuation of the front and back color, like it's one continuous picture or artwork, which I love. It's just, unless it's like, this is a good example, unless it's like picture or artwork, solid color spine, like unless it's like already like mostly a single color, what would be a good, okay, so this would be a good example where I would be okay with it, where it's like one continuous picture, but this is still mostly one single color. but it's like mostly like brown, so I'd put that with brown. However, so unless it's like that or like the circus train where it's like a same, like the full spine is one single color separate from the rest of the color, those are the two situations where I would be okay with it and I would be okay organizing by color. However, I then have a lot of colors like this where the spine is like 2-3 different colors, and it's like I said, I tend to overthink it, and then it's just like I don't know what to do. You know, so it's like, yeah, so I'm going to put my book of the month books on the shelf, and then what I will do is I will start shuffling the top 3 shelves around. You know what, actually, before I put the book of the month books on, I'm going to shuffle the top 3 books, because then once I have the top 3, I can kind of organize these all together based on, and I'm trying to keep all my book of the month books together on mostly the same shelf. Actually, I'll figure it out. So I'm going to take you along with me for like the top 3 shelves, like reorganizing those. I'm not going to do the book of the month ones on camera, but you will see me reorganizing the top 3 shelves. Okay, so also something I do when I'm at the very least with my book of the month books, if I am stacking them on the side, like on the sides where it's like here, where it's like if I stack them like this, then usually I put in the number of books, like I just stack it up as much as I want to or can, and then I will shuffle stuff around, because sometimes I'll have unread books in that shelf or in that stack. And so what I will do is, like I said, either I will stack it up as much as I want to or as much as I can, and then I will move any unread books to the top of that shelf so they're easier to grab, which I am doing right now. So these 2 are going in the one stack that I have right now. Violet Thistleweight is not a villain anymore, and then Wild Dark Shore. So I'm sticking these in alphabetical order on top of the stack. So yeah, and then I just keep going with organizing. So that's kind of how I do it with stacks. And if I'm stacking like one in front of the other, like it's not really stacking, but if I'm doing like this, where it's one book, the next book's in front of it, the next book's in front of it, I'll do the same thing where I'll have unread books in front. So I need to switch these 2, but that's basically what I do. So I will probably need to have another stack or another forward facing one, but I will figure that out. Okay, so I now have it done, and I'm very happy with the result. Oop. Oopsies, I swung upside down and backwards. There we go. So I have it done. I'm very happy with the results, and I know I was saying I don't mind with manga and manhwa and stuff. I don't mind when I like do the dual like this, but like I do like the way like bookshelves look when you have like a single row and you just see everything on that shelf in the one row. So to take you along with me to show you, there might be some changes over time, because I know the 3rd one for Under the Oak Tree is coming out in June, I think, which I'm going to pre-order. So that's coming out. I know I need to order the rest of Yashihime. I need to get volume 3 of Magic and Rare. Obviously, I'm going to get Delicious in Dungeon. I'm sort of already taking along, but I'm going to get Delicious in Dungeon. I'm going to expand out Delicious in Dungeon and Inuyasha and Fruits Basket. So there are going to be some changes to these shelves and all of my shelves as I get more books. But to take you along with the snapshot for right now. Okay, sorry for the bit of the glare. That's the best I can do with the lighting right there. Top shelf is like graphic novels, manhwa, and then some of my manga. And then the way I have it organized is alphabetically, so the way that bookstores do it. So this is all alphabetical because they're all graphic novels, and then this section, like my manga, my manhwa and stuff, graphic novel, or manhwa and stuff, organized alphabetically by the title. This is all alphabetically by title. And then I organize my manga the same way. This fit best up here, which is why I stuck it up here. Second shelf, again, similar with the top shelf. I organize it by height and then by alphabet. So you can see here, this is a good example, where these are all the same height. But it's alphabetical, so A and then S. But these are all my manga. Here, different height, different height. These are so close on height. It's so annoying. Because if these were the same height, this would be first, and then again up here. So Inuyasha is actually the same height as Fruits Basket. So technically A, B, C, D, E, F. So technically I would stick Fruits Basket, and I have stuck Fruit Basket before and or on top of, and or in front of, depending on how I organize Inuyasha. But this is the best way that fits right now. And then my 25th anniversary editions of Magic and Earth. And then the next shelf is paperbacks, and this is organized alphabetically by author last name. So I do plan to get Parable of the Talents, which is the second book. I want to get the rest of this series, and then I am going to get book 2 of this. I'm probably going to get book 2 in paperback and in hardback. All of Natasha Lester's books right here. All of these. Emily McIntyre, Merrick, Penner. And with this one, these ones are all at the end, but these ones are on top because they are shorter than these ones. So that is the only exception. And then next up is my Book of Month books, all in alphabetical order now, with unreads in front and or on top. And then bottom shelf is my hardbacks. I did not touch this shelf just because I'm happy with the way it is, and this is the best I can do with this. So yeah. So again, I'm really happy with this, and I'm tired, but it's like before I was just tired, but now I'm the happy tired, the content tired. Hopefully I'll sleep okay tonight. And if you made it this far in the video, comment down below with when the last time your last bookshelf reorganization was. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.